There are no 50/50s in Duet Night Abyss, but that's just the beginning, because now there's no gacha system at all. The changes revealed in DNA's global launch announcement livestream transform it from merely a generous game to the most expectation-shattering experience on the market. How is it possible for a gacha game to evolve beyond being a gacha game? This is one of the riskiest gambles I've ever seen a video game make, and I'm not just saying that because Duet Night Abyss is sponsoring this video. A move like this is genuinely unprecedented. And speaking of being sponsored, pre-register with my link below if you're interested in playing DNA when it launches on October 28th. It really helps support the channel. Before the livestream, DNA's Twitter cheekily asked players what would be a better upgrade to their gacha system out of these three options. What no one expected was for them to throw out the gacha altogether and obliterate DNA's core monetization strategy. While in previous closed beta tests, the game used to aim simply to be generous relative to other gacha games by foregoing the 50/50 system and making weapons grindable, it has now entirely dropped that monetization model. I don't think I've ever seen a gacha game do this before, and if you have, let me know in the comments. Let me reiterate, there is no gacha system for characters, weapons, or equipment in Duet Night Abyss. Truthfully, I love gacha games, but I love them in spite of their FOMO tactics and banners. Gacha is one of the only genres that provides high-quality anime graphics, new content monthly, is freely accessible to anyone, that sort of thing. The predatory monetization is a side effect that I endure. In fact, I've become so accustomed to it that the thought of playing a mobile anime game without it seems nearly unthinkable. Which begs the question, without the shadow of gacha, how will you be able to obtain characters and weapons in DNA now? Duet Night Abyss features a cast of demonic characters brandishing horns and other strange appendages. Even villains are playable right away, like Sybil. She's my favorite. I say that every video, but it keeps being true. Since gacha is out the window, characters can be obtained in two ways: by grinding their shards through in-game modes to unlock and upgrade them, or by purchasing their shards from the cash shop outright. If you've already earned some shards from grinding but decide you want to purchase the character, or maybe you just want to buy the last few shards you need, you'll be able to purchase the exact amount you need rather than overspending on a big bundle. Meanwhile, when it comes to weapons, you can earn those through grinding parts and then craft them in-game. In other words, every single character, as well as all their best equipment and weapons, can be earned solely from your effort without spending a dime. Here's to hoping the grinds are reasonable. But if gacha banners are gone, what's the point in having the distinction between 4-star and 5-star characters? The devs clearly asked themselves this exact same question because they've elected to completely remove star ratings from characters. This is massive. 4-star characters in gacha games are usually just as cool as their 5-star counterparts, but their stats and multipliers tend to be bludgeoned for no reason other than they're 4 stars and therefore don't make as much money. I usually avoid using them in gacha games even if I utterly adore the look and feel of a particular 4-star character. But thanks to this change, all characters are created equal, including former 4-stars like Hellfire, Rhythm, and Outsider. They are now completely free from the 4-star curse, able to be complete characters in their own right. Hellfire was one of my favorite characters to play in the previous closed beta tests, and I am so glad that I can now use her without that voice nagging me in the back of my mind that she's suboptimal. Okay, so DNA killed their gacha and removed their arbitrary 4- and 5-star ranking system. But that's not all. That brings us to the second most annoying mechanic that has plagued gacha games, the stamina system. Since there's no gacha to time gate currency behind, there's no need for a stamina system either. So that's out the window too. That's right, daily stamina caps, gone. Now you can grind at your own pace without the stress of running out of, or capping, your daily stamina. In previous betas, the best use of this stamina was to survive 3-minute-long enemy battles. I cannot emphasize enough how much this sucked. 3 minutes for a single daily felt like an eternity in a gacha game, and it got old fast. However, with the stamina system now gone, I will no longer feel the need to spend stamina on these repetitive stages. I can simply do them whenever I need the materials they drop. But that's not all! These 3-minute stages have been completely overhauled and are no longer on a fixed timer. Instead, the fight ends when you clear out all the enemies or complete the objective. So, as my power and skill increases, these grindy battles will get shorter and shorter. With the stamina system gone, there's no great pressure to do boring chores every single day, and when I want to do chores, that grind has been reworked to feel rewarding instead of a 3-minute punishment in timeout. So with the gacha gone, stamina gone, and everything free to earn at your own leisure, that brings us to the elephant in the room. How is a free-to-play game like Duet Night Abyss supposed to make any money? After all, something has got to pay for those servers and regularly scheduled content updates, right? Well, as I mentioned earlier, you can outright buy characters if you don't want to spend time grinding to unlock them for free. But that's not the only way DNA plans to monetize this game. Instead, DNA is going down one of my favorite routes, focusing on cosmetics. In previous tests, Duet Night Abyss boasted an incredible cosmetics system, with capes and other accessories equipable by any character. It had this comprehensive dye system that allowed you to dye different parts of weapons and character skins. Outfit skins in particular had around 8 separate dye channels, meaning your version of an outfit could look quite a bit different from your friends. Dyes were difficult to obtain in previous tests, however, and I'm hoping they're a lot more accessible now. You'll be able to show off your great or intentionally terrible looking outfits in a social hub called the Multiplayer Plaza. Even better, if you've got no interest in seeing other players, you can just disable Multiplayer Plaza with an on-off option. The devs have promised to roll out more outfits and accessories in future updates, and I cannot wait. Look at this gorgeous swimsuit they showed off for Fushu, and this simple but cute Christmas-themed outfit for Psyche. There's something nostalgic to me about showing off a character that I've crafted the perfect look for, whether it's through rare accessories, cash shop items, or clever uses of dyes. Really takes me back to my DFO days. Wait, did anyone else here play DFO? Maybe more people can relate to showing off their catgirl in Limsa Lominsa. To support this focus on aesthetics, the graphics of the game as well as the character models have been further improved since previous tests, and we got a taste of this during the livestream as well. Check out these comparisons between old and new character models. They look amazing! What's more, even the skins that were in the last beta got upgraded, complete with improved special effects. This new focus means that DNA will have a greater emphasis on story, characters, and social activities than ever before, which sounds right up my alley. Many of the changes I've covered so far have been made in large part due to player feedback. Here's a quick-fire list of some more quality-of-life features coming to the launch version of the game. In DNA, you control one character while fighting alongside 2 AI characters you also own. Now, you can automatically summon these AI companions at the beginning of a commission instead of having to manually summon them every time. The Helix Leap is a traversal ability that used to require 2 buttons to execute. Now it can be done with only 1 button, making the experience much smoother for mobile players. And all players, for that matter. Sprinting and grappling have been added to make traversal feel even better. In addition to the Multiplayer Plaza, you'll still be able to do co-op commissions with up to 2 other players. Mobile performance will be vastly improved since the last beta. That's to say nothing of the many other adjustments coming, such as the increased amounts of shops in town, being able to use the forge from any location, and more. Before Gacha, there was my one true love, MMOs. DNA's move from Gacha monetization into something more reminiscent of MMOs is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I've never seen a game willingly step away from Gacha before. Usually it goes the other way around. However, there is still one big gamble here, and that's a massive gamble on the devs' part. Frankly, I hope it pays off. Whether this game succeeds or fails, it's going to have huge ramifications for the future of gacha games, and I hope all games improve because of it. If you want to experience this grand gamble with me, pre-register with my link below so you can be ready for the global launch on October 28th. But to see more of what DNA has to offer, you'll definitely want to check out this video. Just ignore everything I say about gacha because you can earn every single character for free now. Did I mention every character is also permanently available?